Welcome to Butterfield Backstage Banter, the BSP podcast where host Jessica DeMent is joined backstage by her guests to banter about theater at Butterfield in Gainesville, Texas.
Hello and welcome to Butterfield Backstage Banter. I am your host, Jessica DeMent, and today I am joined by one of our actresses, Flora Cato. I almost forgot her name, but I remembered it. Flora, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
To begin, can you go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about your theater background?
Let's see. My first ever show was a 7th grade one-act play, Charlotte's Web. And then I proceeded to do an 8th grade one-act play as well. But the funny thing is that a little over a year later, I proceeded to do Charlotte's Web here.
Yeah. That's fun. And then most recently, you were in Legally Blonde, correct?
Yes.
That was a great show. What character do you play in this show, The Wolves? And do you identify with that character at all?
Number 11. Number 11's very morbid, brainy, kind of like low support needs autistic, which is definitely me. I have an official ADHD diagnosis, don't have an official autism one, but I did see a specialist about it.
Wow.
I definitely identify a lot with 11, not specifically what 11 hyper focuses on, not like same special interests, but
you can understand
yes.
Kind of that neurodivergency that the character is dealing with.
Definitely.
Oh, wow. When Allison and I chatted about the show, we discussed some of the heavier topics that this show covers. Can you tell me a little bit about how some of those impact your character?
I did mention the special interest thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of those darker topics are 11 special interests. This, like, talking about the like Khmer Rouge and the bunch of those morbid things are definitely all up 11's alley.
Yeah. So she's kind of the one that introduces some of those heavy topics.
For sure.
Wow. Before this show, have you ever played soccer?
1 year in 7th grade. I want to say I might have been defense. I played like a one game that year only because they were so short on people that they had to put me in.
Oh.
I was not good.
Not good at all. I was going to ask, how did those skills transfer to the stage?
Skills is not the word I would use.
Fair. Have you found it challenging having to learn soccer as a part of the play process?
Somewhat, yes. There's a reason why I do theater instead of sports.
I can identify with that for sure. What are some of the challenges that you faced with this show as an actor?
A lot of it is like memorization of lines. I have never, like, in all of the shows I've done, this is the first thing where I actually have more than like 2 lines. So before I'd be off book in like a couple of days, if that, because I had like nothing. I really had to. I mean, if I'm in a musical, music, but other than that, nothing real hard. This is my first major role.
Yeah, that's always a challenge when you've played those smaller roles where the lines are easy to memorize, and then suddenly you have a lot of dialogue. And I kind of read through a little bit of this script, and I know a lot of the dialogue is very kind of like choppy, the way that it is, which I find sometimes as an actor makes it harder to memorize because It's, when you're just doing like a monologue, then you can work on it by yourself. And when you're doing those lines where you're back and forth with other people, it's a lot harder to be able to memorize those lines independently.
For sure.
Yeah. So I do understand that challenge. How have you overcome some of the challenges of the line memorization for you?
I started to kind of use an app that Angela uses.
Mm-hmm. I know the app. She recommended it to me before too. The line memorization app where you go in. Yes. So that is a very helpful app for sure. I actually used it earlier this season when we did Stepping Out. That was one where I was really struggling with memorizing my lines because it was a lot of those shorter lines. And so I used that app and found it was very helpful. What have some of the highlights of this process been for you?
It's just a whole being able to do something outside of work. I'm not very social person. And so just being able to socialize with people that share my same interests and just spend time with the cast, bond, just a lot of that.
Yeah, that's
one of my favorite things.
You get a lot of community with the community theater. And
yes.
That's a lovely part of being able to do shows with the community theater and having that outlet. I'm glad that you get to benefit from that too. Do you have any funny stories or wins that you would like to share with our audience?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? That is okay. We don't all have to have funny stories or wins. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. I just like to ask the question. So is there anything else that you would like to share about the show or the process?
I don't think so.
I don't think so? Okay, well, how about before we wrap up, you go ahead and tell the audience really quickly why you think they need to make sure to see this show. Words are hard. That's okay. Well, you know what? How about instead of you having to use your words to see the show, we just encourage the audience to come see the show and see your character use the words.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Well, Flora, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing y'all on stage. Thank you to our audience for watching today. You can get your tickets online at butterfieldstage.org, or you can call our box office. All of the details will be below in the information box. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't miss out on this wonderful show. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for joining us. For more information, please visit butterfieldstage.org.